person, Kat Okran, the Director of Business Schools, Mr. Alasan Salif, Head, Department of Marketing, Procurement and Supply Chain Management, Dr. Mao Kuja. We have Head, Management Sciences, Kwame Usubachi, our Senior Colleagues present, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is a privilege to be called upon to chair this particular function. As part of your training, beyond the classroom, we need to have people who have been in the industry to share with us some of their experiences so that it will actually shape your life. And I'm particularly happy that I've been called to chair a function with a team building a successful business career, the role of digitization. For the business students, too much is not so much. And now, digital testing is very important. You may know all the theories, but if you don't know how to use the computer analytics to actually help you, you will not grow a successful career. And so I am particularly happy to be the chair because I also learned. Having been the business school, you convert them from a political scientist to a business person. And I've seen that without business, nothing will move in this world. So, Mr. NC, this morning I set the challenge to chair this particular function. But before I take my seat, I want to plead that because of COVID-19 protocols, or we have to obey the COVID-19 protocols, and the number of questions will reduce. Indeed, even the Kadokra, who, if we give him 5 hours to speak, he has agreed to speak within 45 minutes. So that at the end of the day, we will not be simply breaching the COVID-19 protocols because the maximum time we should sit here is 2 hours, and already we are late. So if the chairman says we will take 10 questions, you should understand that we are working within a time frame. Thank you very much for coming. God bless you.
That is going to make it very easier for you as a student, for you to make sure that you digitize your career. Let me put it that way. So when we talk about digitization and in terms of career digitization framework, how you can build a successful career through digitization, there are 3 pillars that we are looking at. 1, adoption of new digital skill sets. When we talk about digitization, what that means is that due to the rise of digital technology that is also declining, is the job of a financial analyst. Now we are talking about financial modeling. What that means that you could be a finance person, or sometimes you are not even a finance person, but you know how to move around with what data, using Excel, using other analytical tools like metabases that enable you to project the financial projection and estimate of an organization. So these are some of the changes that we need to understand. Example, one of the other roles, for instance, is human resource specialist. That is also changing. Indeed, in my former job, I was in charge of social HR. When we talk about social HR, for instance, we are looking at how do you leverage on social media and digital technologies to increase the prospect and engagement rates for a company. So what all that we are saying is that traditionally, one of the functions of HR is talent attraction and recruitment. Traditionally, companies may publish job posts on the newspapers, etc. Now, what we are saying is that you need to go beyond that, and because a lot of professionals out there and students are being engaged and they are being brought together on a one singular social media platform, like Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. What I mean is that there are so many observational data. Example, if I pick your profile on Facebook, if I pick your profile on LinkedIn, your information is there, your resume is there, your job information, your work information. Through the daily information that you share, I am able to analyze the character of that potential candidate. Beyond that, I can have a direct engagement with that potential candidate by messaging me. So I don't have to save so much time waiting to go through a lot of CVs, shortlists, sit down for interviews, etc. So all those work have been minimized because of the power of technology. So now a lot of companies are recruiting what we call digital HR specialists. So that is how technology is even changing the field of what? HR. Example, when it even comes to accounting, my parent company is not a Canada, you understand, it is Kadana. We are a financial technological company that is focused on payroll. For instance, I am not a finance person, I am not an accounting person. But what we do is that we have built payroll systems that enables organizations to auto-generate SNES reports, pensions reports, pay people on the go through mobile money, etc. And some of our clients are even contemplating whether they have to even fire the payroll officer. When you go to big companies, for instance, they have what we call enterprise resource planning consultants. So you can have an accountant that is maybe a specialist for a particular enterprise software, whether SAP or etc. So what I mean is that it is not enough for you to acquire the knowledge, but you need to also understand some of the digital tools that are enabling these works or these tasks to go on very easily. And let me also say that if the World Economic Forum says certain jobs are declining, it doesn't mean that if you are an HR person or if you're an accountant, you will not get a job. What that means is that you need to understand that the role of technology is to what? Is to serve as a what? An enabler to make things easy. So if traditionally, as a payroll, as a finance person, I have to always use Excel, be typing people's salary, etc., and after go around and giving pay slips, there are technological tools that can help you to be able to utilize edition. So it is very important that if you are an accountant, you need to understand some of these tools so that you can be more agile with it, so that you can better complement whatever you have together with the tools that you use. Even for marketing, I've been doing digital marketing for over 8 years, but I can tell you that currently the marketing channels that I use are not even digital. They are still the direct engagement that I do. I still do radio, TV, etc. So when we also talk about digitization, we are also talking about what? Integration. So as a business student, you need to understand that digital tools are one of the modern day tools in your toolbox or in your arsenal that you need to utilize to improve upon your career. If you also check out some of the roles, example, training and development specialist. So those of you that are studying HR, you realize that one of the critical functions of HR is training and development. That role is declining because right now we are seeing a lot of internal learning management systems, what we call massive online courses, and I will talk about it. So right now we are companies are looking for HR managers who have experience in working with IT specialists to develop internal learning and management platforms, so that it can just be one platform that all workers within the organization can log on and they will be able to access various courses in videos, etc., that pertains to the development of their career. So it is very, very important. Let me mention some of the roles that are also increasing. One of them is social media and digital marketing. Indeed, in the year 2016, social media jobs alone increased by over 500% globally. And you could even do a basic test. Go to all the various job portals that you know, and look for marketing roles, or just Google marketing jobs in Ghana. Majority of them are going to be around social media or digital marketing. So it's very important that if you're a marketing person, you need to also understand how these new digital channels that we have, Facebook or etc., is going to help you build better engagement with your clients, and how it's going to complement the traditional channels that you are used to. One of the other rules, then I also move on, is what we call financial technology engineers, fintech engineers. So if you even look at our financial sector, you can use the case of mobile money. Mobile money alone, if you look at the amount of payment it's able to process, it is more than a bank. If you go to neighboring Nigeria, a company like OP, which is a 1-year-old company, was able to attract an investment worth $500 million in record time, making it more valuable than GT Bank of Nigeria, which has been there since time immemorial. If you even look at the company that I work now, Kadana Pay, in less than a year, we have dispersed over $3 million in payroll processing through our platform, because what we have done is that we've made it very convenient for a payroll person or for a company to pay all their workers on mobile money. Just one single automation, you will get your instant money on all the mobile money networks. We've also made it easier not for you to spend time at the bank, spend time trying to calculate tax tables. The software is there, you just put in your information and it does everything for you. So right now, if you're a financial student, you need to start reading about financial technology. What is mobile money? What is digital money? You need to start learning about Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies, etc. Because what is happening is that I was advising a lady friend of mine who has done a BSc in finance, MSc in finance at KU, and she doesn't have a job because for her, she's not even ICUG qualified. So she's not even attractive in quotes. And I was telling her that if you could do a course, or if you could even intern in the financial technological startup and even get 1,000 cedis in about two years, you are going to be earning about $2,000. And today she's earning $1,500 because there are a lot of money moving through, because a lot of investors have seen that digitization is the way. Why? Because digitization is about what? As I said, enabling and making sure that things are done easier too. Digitization also means scalability. What I mean is that if you have, look at Facebook from the US all over the world. So investors want something that will bring them with greater profit. So if they know that this service that you are doing is digitized and it can go all over the world, they will be willing to throw much money in it. So we need to understand how digitization is making some jobs redundant and giving room to different jobs. But then, as I'm saying, it doesn't mean that you need to be worried. It means that you need to now focus on how you can adopt some of these new digital skill sets through continuing education. This talks about various areas, and I won't spend much time there. So, for example, if you look at marketing, digitization has given rise to what new regimes in marketing, new rules. One of them is what? Growth hacker. And in my job, I'm currently a growth hacker. It is just a function of marketing. We have what we call growth manager, digital marketing specialist, digital specialist, e-commerce specialist, head of the digital, etc. If you come to even HR, now we have moved from personnel management and co. Now we are focused on what? People management and culture. So let me also say that digitization also doesn't mean that everything is also about digital. It also means that there are new approaches and there are new methodologies of doing things inspired by what? Technology. Traditionally, HR managers were what? Personal managers. Even now, if you go to some of the government institutions, they still call them personal managers. They do not perform the current function of trying to make sure that you retain a particular employee, etc. Even our employees are not more called employees. They are called talent. Right, so under people and culture, we have what? Information technology recruiter, what I said earlier on. We have human resource business partner. We have talent acquisition specialist, etc. When you come to sales, we have customer success. We have partnership specialists, enterprise account executives, etc. So we need to also understand some of the new jobs that are apparently what emerging and rising within your industry. Now let's look at continuing education. So what I'm saying is that for you to digitize your career, the first thing is what you need to look at how you can adopt new digital skills. But if you can do that, one surest way of doing that is through continuing education. And talking about continuing education, yes, traditionally we go for short courses, we go for executive education. Even though in Ghana, I don't see a lot of people going for short courses and executive education. After first degree, masters, they are done. But then continuing education is very, very important. Within the digital setting we find ourselves, technology is also powering continuing education, especially in light of COVID-19. You know that now in COVID, you are not able to meet physically. So we have what we call massive open online courses, and I'm sure at the University of Education, you have an online learning platform that you go there and study. So what is happening is that due to democratization of information, now Harvard University can share their educational materials online. Stanford University can share, UW can share, and even now, independent knowledge creators. What that means is that if I'm an expert in digital marketing, I can just record a video and share it. So it has given rise to thousands of websites and platforms that you can go there and learn these new digital skill sets for free. And a lot of them are even free, so they are open. What that means is that anyone can apply. You don't need any particular set of certification, apart from those that requires accreditation. So there are some online programs that maybe is being sponsored by University of Education, WINNEBA. So therefore, they will require that you need to pass some exams as part of the program, so that you can earn what we call a certificate or a badge that you completed this course from this particular university. And there are thousands of them online. Example, we have what we call Coursera. You can write it down. Coursera, if you go there, you can learn anything that focuses on digitization within your area. So if you want to learn accounting and you want to learn digital accounting, if you want to learn digital marketing, etc., when you go to Coursera, you have courses, free courses from various universities around the world. Beyond Coursera, we have Udemy. Udemy is there. We have Udacity. We have EDS. And if you look at EDS, for instance, is an open program that is being done by some of the top universities in the world. Harvard University, Stanford University, etc. And they are there. So across all sectors, whether supply chain, procurement, and co, this is the time you need to make good use of the internet. So instead of spending all your time browsing, watching videos on YouTube, or etc., this is the time that whilst you're on campus, you can take advantage of some of these massive open online courses. This is a major revolution within the educational industry when it comes to continuing education. So as students, you need to spend majority of your time on this platform. Let me use myself as an example. You realize that throughout my whole career, I've been involved with digital stuff, but I actually studied telecommunication engineering at my first degree. So what I realized was that whilst I was at university, I used to attend seminars like you. And I realized that there was a talk about digitization, so I started learning. And that was how come I started by learning online marketing from Google. I learned it from HubSpot, etc. I kept reading to a point that in a day, I could read about 80 gigs. I'm not lying, this story is actually was shared on Joy FM Springboard. In a day, I can read 80 books all around digital marketing and social media. Because the thing is, the content is free. You are not paying for it. The content is available, whether in video, PDF. So as a student at Ghana Telecom, I will run to University of Ghana, UN Library, and the BAM Library, pretend as if I'm a student, use their internet, download all the ebooks. Currently, I have a pen drive that has over 10,000 ebooks on digital marketing. It is there right now. So you need to take advantage, and that's what I did. So when digital marketing and code came first and code, at level 200, I got my first job, and I moved to Kenya. And I was earning $1,200, and I was still an engineering student. I was earning $1,200 a month because they were looking for social media managers, and these are new rules. So even the marketing students, even the marketing professionals already in the industry couldn't see this thing that I'm talking about. And all because I had access to what? Massive open online courses. So I normally tell people that when it comes to continuing education, if you don't have money to be enrolling in formal education where you have to pay a lot, you need to leverage on what? Massive open online courses. Anything you want to learn is there. So as students, I will encourage you to what? Prioritize your time well and take advantage of this massive open online courses. Now let's look at personal branding. So let's assume that now you are in a state whereby you are learning and adopting new digital skill sets through continuing education powered by massive open online courses. How do you stand out and make sure that you are able to attract jobs and opportunities? And I'm sure as students, anytime we talk about career, the first thing is, how do I get a job? In the digital world, it is challenging and it is also easier in the sense that I said that there is what? Democratization of what? Jobs. Now you are no more competing with another student at Legon, you are competing with another student at India, etc. Because now the jobs are all available online and people are competing for it. There's mad rush for jobs. So how do you stand out as a student? So when we talk about personal branding as a catalyst for building successful career in the digital economy, one of the things you need to understand that we have moved from the era of applying for jobs and waiting to be called for an interview. You can ask a lot of people, how many times you have applied for jobs on LinkedIn and you've not heard anything from them? And throughout my whole career, I've never applied for a job before. I've never applied as in, this is my CV, my cover letter. I have never. The recent job that I had that I said Dr. Bruce spoke to them as a reference, they messaged me. Meanwhile, that particular role has been on LinkedIn and has been online for over 3 months. So now we are in an era whereby we are looking at attracting jobs and opportunities through effective personal branding and social selling success driven by social media and digital technologies. Let me explain this. So right now, because there's what? Democratization and globalization of talent. What it means is that there's a narrow path to which, as a job seeker, you can what? Attract the attention of what? Of an individual. Because now, if they are looking for accounting associates, there are millions of them. If they are looking for supply chain specialists, millions of them. Mind you, not all of them are Ghanaians. From different worlds. So how do you now stand out? And as I'm saying, the recruiter, the modern day recruiter, you don't expect him to waste time going through 1,000 CVs. They don't do that. And even now, because recruitment is powered through technology, CEOs of firms and organizations are also recruiting. So far as you are able to build better network with them, and they can understand you from afar that you could be a good candidate, they message you just by Facebook Messenger. So now the question is, how do you start? So in talking about personal branding, there are two main things that we are talking about. One, who you are and what you want to be known for. So who you are basically is talking about having a complete profile. And in talking about personal branding, it is driven by mainly now social media. So if you're on Facebook, what is the complete profile that you have about the schools you've attended, your skill strengths, etc. If you're on LinkedIn, it's the same thing. So this alone should signal that for some of you that you go on Facebook and on your profile, you put in funny things, etc. You need to start changing it. If you go to my Facebook profile right now, you will see all my profile there. If you go to LinkedIn, you will see. I'm not saying that Facebook and co doesn't have to be used for personal engagement, and I'll come back to it, how you can balance both. But in trying to develop an effective personal branding, you need to be able to have a complete profile about yourself. And let me also say that in talking about having a complete profile on social media, we have types of social media platforms. For the purpose of this representation, I will only dwell on one, but let me introduce you to the other type. We have professional social media networking platform. These are for professionals, students and who are seeking to become accounting professionals, marketing professionals, and one of them is, indeed the major one is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is solely professional and it works just like Facebook. It is the same thing. Facebook is a mixture of both professional and social. So you need to understand. Now, when we talk about the other part of personal branding, whom you want to be known, is driven by the information that you share. So, for example, if you follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook, majority of my information are around trends in marketing, digital marketing, how the world is changing, sharing my thoughts around e-commerce or etc. Because in the digitization age, the modern day recruiter relies on what we call observational data. So I don't know you. I don't have time for you to come for an interview, to come and now tell me what you know about social media and come and talk plenty. So based on the information that you are sharing, that is what I use in making my judgment. So one, a complete profile about you that gives me some level of confidence and it's helping to build credibility and trust. The second one is your engagement activities, the kind of information that you've been posting. That is what we call observational data. So a lot of people know me because they told me, I know the guy now you always post social media and digital marketing stuff on social media. I remember when I was recruited to multimedia, their then CEO, who was a Malaysian, messaged me because he had seen a publication I've made on how businesses can use social media. So he saw it and was like, wow, your content is good. So do you know what? I am inviting you to my office. I went there and said, look, I'm not actually inviting you, but then I feel that we need you to head our social media and digital media department. So it is very, very important that you dwell on what you want to be known for. And it is driven through content. This also means that as students, as you are getting very happy and fascinated about posting things on Snapchat, on Twitter, Instagram, making jokes, insulting people, etc. You need to be careful in terms of how you want to be perceived by people. So personal branding, and when we talk about social selling, basically that is a social selling is that you use social media to advertise your craft and your skills. And the best way you can do that is through posting about it and maintaining a very good complete profile about yourself. So you need to understand these things. And I'm telling you, I have never applied for a job before. And I have also trained a lot of people that currently they get jobs not because they apply. You need to stand out from the people. And by standing out, it means that what? You need to what? Be able to show what we call thought leadership. You need to indicate to recruiters and companies that you know what you are talking about. And in talking about LinkedIn, because I said it's the major professional social media networking platform, LinkedIn is the most used and currently considered the most effective social media site for what? Recruitment. According to 96% of 410 HR professionals in the latest Society of Human Resource Management survey. So I was telling some government officials that when we talk about jobs, in as much as I agree that there is a room for government to create more jobs, I also believe that a lot of the youth are not getting jobs because they don't understand the new methodologies and the new channels for job searching. That is a fundamental fact. Because I can tell you that currently I am even recruiting for 6 e-commerce advisors, which are merely salespeople that are going to speak to businesses on how they should upload their products. And a lot of people are applying. There are 1,001 jobs available. Some of even the prestigious companies you want to work for, especially the foreign one, Bolt is currently recruiting for national service. The country manager was my colleague at any farmer. He sent me the link. He said, "God, this has been on our LinkedIn for so many periods." So I told a friend of mine at King that apply and he picked. And they are going to guarantee him a job. And Bolt is going to pay him more than. And Bolt is a major player in what the text speaks around the world. So you need to understand that now job search is no more banging demographic and going through it. It has evolved from that stage to SMS to even internet. A lot of the jobs on even websites like Jobs in Ghana, they pick it from LinkedIn. Because companies are looking for ways to increase the reach of their information, and they've seen social media as one of the most effective medium in doing that. Let's look at another statistics. 95%, and in talking about why now we have moved from job application to what? Job attraction. 95% of the 541 HR professionals surveyed indicated they use LinkedIn to recruit passive candidates who might not otherwise apply. What that means is that this 95% of the 541 HR professionals said that in their jobs, they recruit people not because they applied, but because they leverage on what? Observational data. They've seen these people's LinkedIn profile. They think, first of all, they have a very good track record. They have sent them friend requests. They have accepted, and over the period, they've seen how they've consistently been posting out it. And based on this observational data, they reach out. And I get loads of those messages. So you need to understand that if you are a student and you are going to wait for a time that you think you are going to apply for a job and you are going to get it, that chances are currently slim. Because as I said, there's democratization of jobs because of technology, and there's a narrow path to which you can seize that opportunity. So that is how come I appreciate your leaders in doing this program, because I believe that the program doesn't have to end here, but all of you at the School of Business need to understand how to optimize LinkedIn for career success, because your personal growth activity starts now. The reason why at level 200 I got a job, because at level 100 I was publishing one article a month on social media. So one day I was there and I got a message from a company. Another company in Ghana, Test Ghana, one of their managers messaged me, said, "Hello, you've been posting about social media stuff. We need a social media manager. Can you come?" So even whilst I was a student, I was chopping 2 salaries. All my colleagues at Ghana Telecom knows about it. I was taking 2 salaries to a point that I had to become an evening student. So I was taking $1,200 and 2,200 cedis. So what I leverage, I understand that I realized that digitization was the way. So I had to learn new skill sets, even though I wasn't a marketing student. 2, I leverage on the power of what? Massive online courses to learn. And 3, because of my personal branding activities from level 200 till now, Dr. Lee will tell you, I don't struggle to get job. Indeed, every 8 months I change job. Every 8 months I change job because they come with better offer. They come with better offer. I don't even apply. I don't apply. Do you get it? So you need to understand how LinkedIn is changing the world of what? Career development. So enough on the LinkedIn, even though, like I said, I will plead with your management to do a special training for you. And not just the School of Business, even the career development unit. They should be in the loop to start preparing. It is not enough to just be in the classroom. You need to understand how you can build an effective personal brand. Now, let's talk about how do you maintain balance between personal social media use and social media use for career. And this will be my last slide because I realized that one of the critical barriers of personal branding, which some even believe it is the dark side of social media on Ghana's youth, is the fact that they are not building better career profiles. Look, if you go to a Snapchat, you will be surprised. You will see your own students. The new stuff they are posting, hookup premium, a lot of nude and pornographic content that does not even reflect who they want to become in the future. If you go to Facebook, it is the same thing. Insulting political figures, insulting UTAG members because lectures are going on strike. Posting a lot of stuff. Those that are not also doing same, they are just there. All that they care about is social life. And I'm saying that if you want to stand out, because when we talk about social networks, social networks bring people together. But when we talk about people, it's not just about friends and families. People also talk about what? Businesses are part of the people community. So same way, as a company, I've realized that there are a lot of users on Facebook that could also be my potential customers. So I go there and establish an account and try to advertise to them. It is the same way recruiters are also doing the same. So a lot of the time I try. So as a student, how do you maintain this balance? Now what we are saying is that 1, for you to stand out and develop your brand on social media, your career, you need to have a social media manifesto. And that manifesto should be aligned with, first of all, what you want to become. So a sample manifesto is that I want to be known for as someone who is passionate about what? Digital marketing. I want to be known as someone who's passionate about what? Accounting. There's this guy in Kenya. He's a student. He's studying insurance. He started publishing micro insurance tips. And currently he's been hired by one of the most powerful insurance technology companies in the world. So you need to have a manifesto. And as I'm saying, if you are serious about your career and you want to develop and seize opportunities, your manifesto should be career driven. What do you want to be known for? That is the basic question. I'm not sure you want to be known for hookup, premium, I'm not sure that is what you want to be known for. I'm sure you want to be known for something that is more related with your career. So 1 is to have that manifesto. Write it. Now how do you reflect and manifest that manifesto? If you want to be known for as a social media person, it is better reflected through the information what you share. That becomes what we call the observational data that I will use to judge that no, this guy is a social media person. This guy knows something about what? Accounting IT. So what? Why don't I invite this guy? That is it. The second thing is a framework that shows you how to maintain the balance. Because I've always said that if you also do a lot of, like in marketing and sales, we say that if you do a lot of what? Sell, you bought a customer. So how do you maintain a balance? Because social media has functions for you to connect with your friends and families. Also, as a responsible professional or as a responsible citizen, there are certain causes or events that you may care about. Whether events about your religion, events about maybe politics, demonstration, or etc. But how do you create a balance? So what we are saying is that we have a rule called the 1/10 rule. The 1/10 rule, or what we call the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is saying that in a week, 1/3 of your post should reflect about your social life and activities. There's nothing wrong with it. Of you posting a picture that you attended the wedding ceremony of someone. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you posting a picture of food, and I do it a lot. Another 1/10 can reflect causes or events you support. You support religion, you support NPP, you can do that. Another 1/3 should reflect on your career or your industry. And in this case, the career or the industry, the designer, should be the intersection of what both. The intersection of what? So in a Venn diagram, the career or the industry information should be the intersection of what? Information about your social life and activities and about events and courses that you care about. And let me also say that it should also be rooted in effective ethical standard. What that means is that you don't have to be insulting, you don't have to be fighting on social media, you don't have to be attacking people, etc. Doing certain things that will also create negative image about you as a professional. Even in professionals working in organizations, right now we are pushing for what we call social media policy, internal education and governance. What that means is that as a lecturer in UUPB, we don't deny the fact that social media has become part of it. But what we are saying is that there is a tendency for you to publish certain things that can damage the image of you as a person and at a macro level, the organization. So companies are even focusing on what? Internal education. This weekend, I'm going to train the police. You need to train your staff. First of all, how do they build an effective personal brand? Well, an effective personal brand doesn't only help you to gain jobs. From the HR perspective, it is a reflection of the quality of what employees are, what you have, and the culture that you have. Right? So we need to basically look at this framework. How do we maintain a balance between personal social media use and social media? Because this is something that is very dear to me. Because a lot of the youth and the students are wasting their time. There's a platform called Jodel. You know Jodel? Do you know Jodel? It's a platform for college students. Social. If you go there and see the things they are posting, even though it is anonymous, you go on Snapchat, you see a student, the things they are posting. You wonder whether if you're a recruiter and you see such a person at for interview or something, whether you are ever going to engage them. So a lot of you are missing opportunity because I'm saying that in as much as there are no jobs, there are so many jobs that they don't know how to take advantage of. Because of the perception and the image they have built for their career. So this is where I'll bring my presentation to an end. I have a YouTube channel. I've done a full episode on how LinkedIn earned me all the jobs in my career. How LinkedIn. I've interviewed the head of marketing for Airtel Tigo, and look, he tells me that the story about Airtel Tigo was because of his profile picture. And it's a role in that because if you're a banker and you want to listen as a banker, the picture that you publish of you in the street is a reflection of who you are. If you are into creative stuff and you post maybe more like a hoodie or something, it's a reflection. Because as I'm saying, pictures and all the things that we publish are observational data that businesses use in making, in choosing someone for a job. So you can go to my YouTube channel. I've done a full episode on this, and I've interviewed a lot of people. We all got their jobs through LinkedIn. So you can go there and access some of this information. You can also follow me on my Facebook page. I've created a Facebook group. I have students and professionals, over 1,000 of them. That day in and day out, I am educating them for free on how they could use them. Because LinkedIn is not just about job. You can be having a job, but you want to advance your career. LinkedIn is also one of the platforms for continuing education, because on LinkedIn, if you are a junior marketing associate, even you can find someone who's head of marketing for a big firm, and you can be taking insights and learning from them on the information they share, the articles that they share. So this is where I'll pause, and if you have any question, you can ask.
In regards to the courses of events that you, support, in posting it, are you going to write it as an article, or you just write statements of things that you actually support? Thank you.
Okay, so in social media and online, we have various content formats. You can write it either as a text, it can be an image or a video. Sometimes it can even be that you are contributing to an hashtag. All those things are what events and support. So assuming your, let's say, example, as students, you are protesting democratically against your SRC leadership. Maybe they come hashtag remove whatever. You can just share those things.
I had only two. The Coursera and the EDS. Can you add?
Okay, so this is an assignment. You just Google massive open course on digital marketing, free online course on web procurement. Free, they are there. So just do it now and assess. But then Coursera and EDS are the most advanced instructors, where the instructors or the teachers are from universities or from faculties all over the world. Even YouTube, they are there. YouTube, where you Google social media marketing, you see so much videos there.
Sir, please, I really enjoyed your presentation this morning. Thank you so much. Please, you talk about people management and culture. The culture, I don't get it well. I want you to elaborate on it more. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, culture, one, is about creating some form of environment where employees can feel at peace and deliver on their best. So, for example, we have toxic cultures. These are workplaces whereby one, they can be employee abuse. Let me even use national service and some of the things you might likely to face in toxic cultures. They will be sending you left, right, center. People will be what? They can even be making love or pest stores, etc. Those are toxic cultures. These things do not make the employee perform with a peace of mind. It can even be that you are always being lambasted for the negative things. But then when you excel at something, you are not even appreciated. And because companies have realized that due to the digitization of jobs across the globe, it is very difficult to get a quality talent or an employee. HRs of today are focusing much on what we call employee retention. How do I make you happy? So, for example, in my former company, you go to work when you are feeling, sleeping, you can go and sleep. You can play tennis. When you go to Accra, you see some of the offices, they have games and so many things. Making sure that the employee feels at peace to be able to deliver their best efforts.
Yeah, my contribution. I think that we should, as a student, we should also try as much as possible when it comes to the career development when you're using the social media. One, I think that the social media can also help you in terms of enhancing your education. Because what I've observed is that when you're a student and you apply for further studies, maybe you want to pursue master's program, sometimes when you tender in your application, the embassy will go back and check your social media status. What are some of the things, whether those things are related to perhaps the program you want to go and pursue. And that one can even let them refuse you the visa. So these are something very particular, we should be particular about it. Then the second aspect is that since we are saying that it's very important for us to post certain things that of course will enhance our career, we should also be mindful of the copyright. Because we know as students, some of them will just go and take somebody's material, then go and dump it on or post it on Facebook, thinking that he's using it to build his career. I think if you don't take it, somebody can also take it on. So these certain things we should try as much as possible to consider when we are building our career on social media. Thank you.
Okay, so to add, assuming it is a quote on digital marketing that you are always sharing to signal that you are passionate about it, always source it. But the most importantly, we are talking about thought leadership. What it means is that you have digested the thing and you are what? Sharing new insights or breaking it down. Because at the end of the day, even if the recruiter calls you, he will have what they call initial briefing. They will ask you questions and they expect that the same level of depth that you show on social media will be reflected in when they meet you also in person. So you don't have to fake it.
Darling, is it for those with qualifications or anybody qualified?
Those with qualifications. LinkedIn is for everyone. LinkedIn is just like Facebook. But as I said, we have professional social media platforms and family-based. Family-based is everything like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But LinkedIn is only for what? Professional. So if you go there on LinkedIn, you cannot use Ifya Duchess or Kwesi Bruni. You need to use your right name, more like, and list your CV, the school you've attended, the course. It is very what? Professional. So you don't post things about I'm eating wachi. Unless, example, you are eating wachi at an office event, it is still reflecting your workplace with activities and it's still linked with your profession. Do you get it? Or your career?
It has become an important phenomenon in emerging marketing fields. And what I believe that was trying to let you know is the fact that you see, you must identify yourself within the community of marketing people. You must identify yourself within the community of online marketing guys. What it means is that you should be original. Now, Dr. Siam Kisi was trying to let you know that there's no need for plagiarism. Picking information from someone and then dumping it on your site to be recognized. The fact is that if you don't share your beliefs, if you don't share your values, if you don't share your expertise, no one can identify you. And you cannot build a brand that is original. So the most important thing is that if you want to be recognized by social media, community, try as much as possible, build a personality, build certain values, build certain norms, and that is what we project for people to identify you and associate you. Thank you.
Please, I have a question about taking online courses. My colleague made mention of some of the platforms such as Coursera and EDUs. My question is, how is the recognition like, especially here in Ghana? If you have, let's say, a certificate from Coursera or EDUs, is it really recognized here in Ghana?
So, as I said, we have two types. We have one that doesn't have any accreditation. We have one that is just free, and we also have one that is accreditation based. So with those that are accreditation based, it is recognized. So it can even be one that is being done by the short courses department of UU. It could be the one that is being done by Cape Town University, right? So, example, we have those that have accreditation. One of them is what we call GetSmarter.com. So GetSmarter.com, what they do is that they partner with universities. So there are already existing short courses that these universities in Africa are doing. They take it online. So if you go to Cape Town University, even University of Ghana is on GetSmarter. So all the various short courses are there in videos, and you'll be able to watch the videos and also have live interaction with the lecture. So you have to differentiate. And those with accreditation are expensive. Example, if they are executive education, you can even be paying $10,000 samples. Right? So they are all built on levels. But then as I'm saying that, you need to see it as a springboard in developing your career in the digital economy. Personally, when I started, I relied on the free ones. Until after my first job, I made a lot of money. I paid £7,000 to do my postgraduate diploma. So you start from somewhere, and later on, if you want accreditation, you can now apply informally.
And business technology continues to change, evolve, and that's why continuing education is very, very important. What you know today, in the next 30 seconds, a new thing will appear. And you know that until we have mobile money. You understand how we used to send money to our mothers in the villages. You go to post office, you pay money, they have to give you a code, they have to go to a place where you can get how do you call it, mobile money. No, they will call it booth to call. You will dial 7 times, it will go, 8 times it will tell the story, you can't find a dictionary. And the next time you give a different code, honestly they go, they say you can't take the money. But since then, technology has evolved. And now it's a matter of sending mobile money. Even uneducated people know that the money has dropped. That is technology. And we need to continue, whether in the field of business, at home, and whatever. And if we don't learn technology, of course we'll be behind time. And you know, in business, time is money. In business, time is what? Money. If you don't respect your time, and you don't learn new things, of course, you're going to retrogress instead of progressing. God, thank you very much for all the wonderful things. And I want to believe that beyond the classroom today, you learn something more. And I have a personal experience. Tamale Teaching Hospital, they have decided that they will never take any university student to do internship except for the UEW. And they have, and when I inquired why, they said, look, your students for the past 4 years, they can quote unquote already make. You are not going to teach them how to operate a computer. They know how to apply IT in the business. So why do you go and pick other students for other universities where they have to come and be looking at A1E, and that for the past 4 years, they rely so much on UW and they are willing to accept more from UW. And to get somebody like that to come and tell us something about I think that's very, very important. So thank you for coming, and I want to believe after this we'll begin to ponder. And he has also made a very important point. You don't need to have money before you can learn something about what digitization in business. The YouTubes are there, the ebooks are there, and they are free. So let's continue to read in order to run ourselves differently. Thank you very much.